Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Okay, let me grab my. Okay, so we left off talking about the role of culture in recovery. Okay. Okay. Now that we know we're getting in touch with recovery and we're starting to realize what the needs are out there, look, peer-run organizations came out, right? The TAY, the transitional aged youth, came out. LGBTQ community, immigrant community, the AB 109 formerly incarcerated programs, right? Older adult programs, individuals experiencing homelessness. Okay, so all these programs are coming. Oh, I'm not sharing, am I?
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, this is what, okay.
It's all good. There.
Okay, here we go. Thank you. Where are you, beautiful people? Okay, here we go. So yeah, so all these new programs were brought in tailored to the needs of the culture. Okay. All right. Kleinman's 8 questions. Okay, so this is an approach. Kleinman, 1996, it came out. He developed 8 guiding questions for understanding culture. Okay. Name it. What do you call the problem or the situation? What do you think caused it? Timing. So these are just a way. Let's see. I'm sorry. I totally just lost my thought. It's perspective. Okay. It's perspective. And these are just the questions put in a way where it tailors to all cultures. Because it's just right. Carlos, if you add in on this, you saw me get stunned a little bit. But it's just a different way of asking questions and getting more information. Go ahead, Carlos, if you don't mind touching on that.
Thank you, Renee. Yeah. So a couple things here, y'all. Good to see you, everyone. First of all, thank you, Renee. So talking about the CAMESA exam versus out in the field, right? And so this is something the Kleinman's 8 questions is something that's covered for CAMESA in the exam, right? But then to kind of Renee's point, in the real world, you use these questions to really get down to the specific needs of that person, right? And so if you ask yourself questions, it helps our brains focus. And these are the questions that in any given situation, CalMesa wants you to kind of reflect on before moving forward and providing additional support. Thank you, Renee. You're on mute, my friend.
It's been a weird day.
Agreed.
Oh, Nico was great, by the way. All right. So these are some terms to know. Cultural competence, okay, refers to the values, behaviors, attitude, and practices that enable effective cross-cultural work with others in the field that we're working with, okay? And then also cultural humility. That's the ability to maintain that interpersonal stance and just being open to others in relations to what their cultural identity is. It's really, really important. And with that, we're going to get into an activity. We're going to go ahead and do the well, here's this. So here's a question for you, right? Inequality refers to a difference or uneven distribution, right? So how can social inequity be linked to trauma, health disparities, and or behavioral health conditions? Okay, it can exist due to factors, natural differences, lack of fairness, how resources and opportunities are going to be distributed. And with that, and Carlos came just in time for this activity. All right, so it's called Privilege for Sale. Okay, and you'll be placed into social groups of 3. Oh no, we're gonna do Carlos, because we have enough. Maybe probably 4. I'm thinking, yeah, let's do 4. So probably
Sounds
2
good.
rooms. Then I'm thinking 2 or 3. Yeah. So you're gonna have a list of privileges to buy, and there's 6 privileges to choose from. Okay, and you're gonna be given an amount of money to collectively buy your privileges. Is that going to work out with 4?
We're doing four teams, right? 4 breakout rooms?
Yeah.
It works out
However
perfectly.
it works out. Okay, so check it out. One room is going to have $400. Room two, or one of the rooms is going to have $300. One's going to have $200 and one's going to have $100. And we're going to have 15 minutes. And what I want you to do, there is this handout. Where is it at? There we go. Right here. Okay, with your breakout room instructions. Let me pull it up. Okay. So these are the privileges. Carlos, so were we saying they're all going to be $100?
Yes, each privilege is worth
Okay.
$100.
Okay, so I changed them. All privileges are going to be $100. So you have a white privilege. Okay, Carlos, I'll let you explain this piece.
No worries. No
Please.
worries. Yeah. Tag
Thank
me
you.
and coach. All right. So
Yes.
you're gonna be in an assigned breakout room. Your room number will also have your budget. And so it'll tell you how much money you have. Renee is stating that you can choose. These are privileges. These is not an exhaustive list. So there's different kinds of privileges out there. You can create your own as well. The goal is for all of you to discuss really critically, right, about this idea of privilege, but also if you had this budget and under this hypothetical situation, you need to spend the allotted money on a privilege or privileges. Which one would you choose? And the most important part is the why, right? So we can come back and compare and contrast. Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And so the one thing here, and we're going to thank you in advance, like privilege is a challenging topic, right? But the goal is really to take away some of those layers and really get down to the bottom of what this is all about and how culture and structure are intertwined in every single decision that we do every day. So I'll pause there. Renee, how much time do you want them open for in the breakout rooms?
Please. 15
15?
minutes.
Perfect. All right. All right. So, Renee, you want to start it off? You want me
Yeah.
to start it off? Yeah.
No, no, no. Go
Oh,
ahead.
me?
You.
All
I
right.
love it. Yeah.
So this is how we're going to go through. We're going to, we'll ask each breakout room to report back. We're going to start out with breakout room number one, work our way through four. And at the end, we'll kind of think about what are, you know, trends or thoughts that we have based on all these selections of privileges. So let's start off with room one. We have Adrian, Aidel, and Devin. So which privileges did you choose? And then remember, the why is what matters. Go ahead.
So the privileges we chose and the order we chose them is primarily the able-bodied privilege, and then when we heard about that discount, we got socioeconomic privilege as well. We thought that made a nice little privilege cocktail because being able-bodied is just we all take it for granted, and it allows like you to interact with your world, and without being able to interact with your world, uh, like what privilege can you experience? Secondly, socioeconomic privilege because let's say you are in an environment that may have some form of like sexism, racism, and every environment has like some variation of this, but with enough socioeconomic privilege, you can afford to seek out an environment that best suits you and accommodates your needs personally. So, whatever that means for you, finding like a little island of socioeconomic able-bodied people. But yeah, that's why we chose those two.
Thank you so much, Devin. Forever
Hey,
the
how
the
much money
wordsmith.
did you all have?
100, 100. And so team 100 chose able-bodied and socioeconomic privilege. All right, let's go to team 200. Alondra, Moni, and Valerie. Whoever your spokesperson is, please.
All right, so we initially chose socioeconomic and religious privileges. Um, so we chose primarily socioeconomic because we were talking about how it's like the foundation for so many things, just like Devin mentioned. Financial stability, four-year universities, degrees, you can do so much with that. So I feel like that's just super, super crucial. Or just like even having a roof over your head is like part of the socioeconomic privilege. We also said religious privilege because we talked about how it's like a place of belonging, how it's nice to have a place to go worship and feel at peace without any judgment would be even better. And then when everything became 50% off, we also added on heterosexual privilege because we think that like having to this whole thing when you just want to be yourself, like the whole coming out thing, um, we think that should like be normalized and it shouldn't just be so like, oh my gosh, you know. I think it should just be like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what I like, without it being a huge deal. And then lastly, we chose gender privilege, just because we think that we would be great to be seen on the same level as everybody else and equal throughout.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alondra, and the rest of your team. So once again, socioeconomic, religious, heterosexual, and gender privileges. Awesome. All right, let's go to team 300. Ashley and Luna. What'd you all come up with?
So we came up with gender privilege and white privilege as being two of the ones that were pretty important. We had $300, and so with the last 100, we kind of got stuck. We were like, dang, we don't know what to do. We don't know if we should pick religious, heterosexual, and then we couldn't afford socioeconomic. So we were like, okay, or able-bodied. And then when everything went 50% off, we were like, oh, damn, like, do we pick socioeconomic? Because that became an option. And then after everything was $50, we realized we could afford all of them. So we were just like, boom. Because we were getting so frustrated. I was like, oh my God, how are we only supposed to like pick three of these? They're all so important, but
So which six did you choose, Luna?
uh,
I know I got gender. What were the other five?
able-bodied privilege,
Got it.
socioeconomic privilege, heterosexual privilege, white privilege, religious privilege, and gender privilege. But the top two that we agreed on, like initially, were white privilege and gender privilege.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. Thank you both. Awesome. Last but not least, they literally smiled when I went and told them they were the ballers of the group. So Ingrid and Quinn, come on up. What did you all decide?
For our first four, we were thinking able-bodied, social, and I believe it was religious and gender. So those were our main ones. And then after it was 50%, we kind of like were able to afford all of them. And then we realized we still had an extra 100 left. So we would donate it to the people with 100 or invest it, right? I think investing it is also just a good opportunity to like grow. But honestly, we just focused a lot on the first four because we think like those were important and equal. I don't know if Quinn, you wanna join.
No, yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. And yeah, I feel like we were just discussing how like having religious and like gender privilege um can really help create a sense of community. It's like I feel like it's like the gender privilege, it's like I don't know, that I feel a little iffy on because I'm like, you know, men are, I don't know, I think it's all equal. So it's like I feel like it's not that we would want to be men, it's more like just having like an equal sense.
Awesome. Thank you for that, team four. All right. Renee, you want to tell them why you're smiling? How about you tell them?
Oh my gosh, what? I've been here for 3 years. Carlos, this is coming up on your second, right? Your second year. That was the second time ever we've heard anybody donate. That's why we were like, is anybody, let's make a bet who's gonna, if they're gonna donate. That's why I was so excited. Number two, second of all.
Yeah. So yeah, me too. Usually when this happens, we're like, hey, we never said you couldn't share. Right. And everyone's like, oh, my bad. That's right. I was just balling it out and didn't think about it. I was pretending I was at Target, whatever. And so thank you so much for that. Because Quinn and Ingrid, because you can donate, right? You can give in that sense, right? But most importantly, thank you all for being honest. The trends that we saw here are able-bodied everywhere, right? As well as socioeconomics. And I was telling Renee, it's really interesting doing this multiple times, right? The people change, the groups stay the same. There is a different level of intensity with the $100 group and the 200 and the 300 and the 400, right? And once again, culture and structure, reality, right? It is always, there's a difference when you're making decisions with money than without money. That's how I'll say it, right? It's not that there isn't stress. I'm not saying that people that have a lot of money don't have struggles, not at all. There's a huge difference when you need to make a decision when you have resources and when you don't. And that's what this is all really about, right? Now, did anyone find, let me ask you this. Do you find it difficult to talk about privilege in your day-to-day life? So hands up if you think like, is it challenging to talk about privilege in your day-to-day life? Does it come up at all? It does. Okay. All right. Raise your hand if you find it easy to talk about privilege? Anybody? Okay. And then last one, what about if you're in the middle? It can be either way. A little bit of both. Okay, cool. So the thing about this activity is that usually privilege has such a strong connotation to it, right? A lot of historical, contemporary, and it's a hard topic. And this is why we love having this activity with you. But we're trying to kind of twist it a little bit, right? What can we learn from this? And what I mean by that is I'll pose this next question, right? Which is one of my favorite questions to ask. If I were to ask you, Ideal, Devin, Alondra, Valerie, Ani, Adrian, Quinn, Ashley, Luna, and Ingrid, would you consider what we're doing right now in CAPS as a privilege to be in this training? Would you consider CAPS Academy to be a privilege? So raise your hand if you think you would. Okay. Awesome. And once again, I love to give credit where credit's due. Like this all came from organically from within, right? With people just like yourselves. And so this is why culture and structure, I'm so passionate as someone who studied ethnic studies in college. There's so many connections, right? So many connections in there. And sometimes we get limited by those boxes, even though a human being will always be more than a single or multiple box or combination of boxes. All right, Renee, back to you.
Oh, I admire you so much, Carlos. You're so good at this. I love it. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, let's give it up for Carlos coming in at the right time to do this activity. I love it. And it was wild because you were sharing with me. Carlos loves going through the rooms, and I don't know. I feel I'm still not all comfortable with it, but he's like, that's the professional instructor in him, right? The teaching. But he mentioned like he starts from the top because it seems like the 100 and 200 are more stressed out than when we go to the 400 and everybody's chill. So I thought that was quite, anyway. So we are almost done here. Let's finish this up. All right. We're just going to do a little quiz now. I think. Hold on. Yes, we're going to do a quiz. All right. Who wants to read? Who wants to read? Let's get someone to read. Okay, hold on. What am I doing? Okay. Here we go. Okay. How about that? All right. Thank you. Do we got a reader in the house? We have a reader in the house.
Thank you, Luna.
Oh, thank you.
A customer explains that it is taboo for someone to share their struggles with family members in their culture. How would the peer support specialist support the consumer? A, ask a peer support specialist from the same culture as the consumer to give the consumer advice. B, role play or act out with the consumer ways the consumer can raise the topic with loved ones. C, tell the consumer to disclose their feelings regardless of how they think others may respond. And D, share a time the peer support specialist had an uncomfortable conversation with a loved one.
All right. Now remember picks. All right. Do we have any in the chat?
We have one.
Oh,
We have
okay.
a B. See where everybody else is coming in.
Maybe.
And we have an A or B.
Maybe. Okay.
All right. Let's give everyone a few more seconds. Thank you. Adrian, thank you, Luna. And it says A or B. All right. Last call for your answers. 5. Here we go. 4. B and B. 3,
Okay.
2. All right, Renee, all yours.
The answer is B. And it's going to be under Dimension 3, Interpersonal Skills, 3.7, work effectively with individuals from diverse backgrounds, being respectful and responsive to their cultural beliefs and practices. The rationale behind this is because this option maintains an established relationship between peer provider and consumer while also providing the consumer with self-directed communication strategies for addressing the situation. Remember, we don't empower people, we provide opportunities for them to be empowered. So can you see how that rolled? Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. And with that, thank you. Thank you. You all are enough. Ah! Happy Waffle Wednesday. Carlos, we have any announcements? Right. Remember, I know evaluations, and assignments.
Yes. Please start working on your evaluation if you haven't done so for conflict resolution and culture and structure. First one was with Nico, second one was with Renee. And just as a friendly reminder, Georgie emailed all of you in the cohort today at 12:14, reminding you that tomorrow is the last day you have to submit any missing or late assignments. So you're caught up and good to go, right? This is when things start to expedite really, really fast because tomorrow and then we have the weekend and then Monday's your graduation
Oh
day,
my
right?
gosh, what?
So keep that in mind. We're going to enjoy as much time as
my
we have. We're
gosh.
really exciting, especially the last day. We have alumni panel. We have all these things good to go. So if you have anything that you need to communicate to your student supporter, let them know. Mani, yes, please.
Sorry if my mic goes in and out because it hasn't been working. But I had a question. So I started my internship yesterday, but they kicked me out of the group. So I didn't even get to like get my hours for yesterday, which means for today and tomorrow I'm gonna have to like crunch a lot of like the groups together. But I don't know if I did something wrong on my end as to why they kicked me out of it, but yeah.
Thank you for letting us know and for being straight
Yeah,
up, Mani. I would email your student supporter directly, right?
Okay.
And let them know exactly what you just told us, right? So they can check in and see what's going on, right? I have no idea. I'm not gonna assume.
Yeah.
So that way you're able to at least get clarity, right? Because it sounds like you're not sure what happened, right? So was it a technical thing? Was it something you had no idea? Yeah, I would encourage you to do so.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, we're looking at the portal. Please get that culture. I see 0 assignments turned in on that one. But if you need any support, please let us know. Please get that in by the end of day. If you're working on it, just communicate with us. It's all good.
Yeah, and so we're trying to get you through this, not to only get your certificate, and then you can continue obviously your application, but you can also get your stipend, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
Georgie's not gonna let go to any checks until everything is said and done, and so you kind of get the idea there. So we just want to make sure, because you've all been here, you're committed, and we want to make sure that we do our part to help you cross that finish line and get a little bit of moolah as well. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
So when are we gonna know when we take the test?
Great question.
Go ahead, Renee.
Okay, so graduation. All right, everybody should be on the step where they're asking for the fee of $100 right now, all of you. Okay, so when we graduate on Monday, Georgie's going to give you your certificates and your prepaid codes, and then we're going to put those in. Cal Mesa is going to respond and say, okay, you're approved. They're going to ask for the exam fee of $150. So it's a 2-part. That's when you're going to forward that email or screenshot it and send it to Georgie asking for your second code, right? So that could take a while. So do it as soon as you can. And then Cal Mesa is going to get back to you with an email saying you're approved and giving you another code to take your exam. Okay, so it's a 2-part process. So it depends on how quickly you started your registration, where you're at now. Okay, but our job, Carlos, Helen, and I, is to make sure you take that exam before the 14th.
Yeah. And so to kind of put this into perspective, Quinn, like when I say, like, let's say on Monday, right, you did everything, you're good to go, upload your certificate, your ID, your first code. Cal Mesa is actually pretty good at responding within a day or so to request the next code. So literally by the end of next week, you can have your exams scheduled, ready to go. And so that's why we've been on it. Yeah. So that way they've been doing really good job. ACE took a lot longer when I tried to do it a year and a half ago. So
no, I appreciate that. Actually, someone from a cohort or 2 ago just asked for her prepaid code for the application yesterday, and then she just asked for her second code. So Cal Mesa approved it since yesterday. So it's going to roll fast, I think.
And then the cool things on Monday, our last class is exam prep, which will go and review all of this. And then we also have the alumni panel of people like yourselves that took the exam recently, passed it, give their feedback, right? And to your point, Ingrid, it's 120 questions, multiple choice, 2.5 hours, right? That's the gist of it, right? And you know whether or not you pass the second you press submit.
Yeah.
And so there's no guessing game there, right?
Yeah.
It's legit from that point on. Yeah. And so you become certified as soon as you pass. You get a number, code of ethics bound, all that jazz. Yeah.
And then here's the thing too, it'll take up to 8 days for them to process it and put your certificate in your portal. Okay. Just so you know, but nothing to do. They're not going to send you anything. It's just going to, that Cal Mesa where you created your account, that's where you're going to find everything. Okay.
Good questions. Any other questions or comments?
Oh, thank you, everyone.